Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the processional.
The Wichita State University College of Engineering and W. Frank Barton School of Business 121st Spring Commencement ceremony is now open. Please remain standing for the national anthem sung by Lucas Lowry, a music education and music theater major.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
You may be seated. Thank you, Lucas, for performing the national anthem. Good afternoon. I'm Dennis Levesey, Dean of the College of Engineering. We are pleased to welcome parents, friends, relatives, students, university administrators, faculty, and staff to join us for this important occasion for the graduates. Joining me on the platform today is Samantha Corcoran, our University Grand Marshal, who carried the mace and led the processional. Samantha Corcoran is an engineering educator within the College of Engineering. Please stand and be recognized. And I will go off script a little bit and mention that she is the Grand Marshal because she's the most recently selected Wallace Award winner for excellence in teaching within the College of Engineering. She's a fantastic member of our faculty. It is now my great pleasure to introduce a very special group. Every great university has a dedicated faculty and staff. These are the professionals who teach in the classroom and the lab, work individually with students, and provide advice about careers. These are also the staff who maintain the university and ensure that it operates each and every day. Would all university faculty and staff present please stand and be recognized? Please join me in acknowledging the faculty and staff of Wichita State University. Thank you. The William H. Sweat Prize for Efficiency was established at Fairmont College in 1924 through an estate gift from William H. Sweat. His will established an annual award to be given at the end of each school year to the graduating Wichita State University student who attained the highest average in his or her studies and schoolwork during his or her last year in college. In addition to the highest grade point average, factors such as highest number of completed upper division courses and extracurricular involvements are also considered in the selection process. This year's Sweat Prize winner comes from the College of Engineering. We are honored to present this $1,000 prize to Zaid Falah Alashkar. Zaid, will you please come and be recognized? Zaid Alashkar is graduating with his bachelor's degree in biomedical engineering. Zaid currently serves as vice president of Tau Beta Pi Engineering Honor Society and has previously worked with the National Institutes of Health through the Kansas Idea Network of Biomedical Research Excellence. Zaid has been on the dean's list every semester during his time at Wichita State and will graduate in May with summa cum laude distinction. In addition, Zaid has already entered into the master's program in biomedical engineering as part of our accelerated program, where he can concurrently work on his bachelor's and master's degrees. After completing his master's program, Zaid intends to work in industry in the area of biomaterials. Please join me in congratulating Zaid Alashkar. This is embarrassing. Graduates, you are all here today to mark the end of one leg of your lifelong journey of learning, that of students here at Wichita State University. While you may no longer be on campus every day, you'll always be part of Shocker family. It is my pleasure to ask Courtney Marshall to welcome you to that community.
Thank you, Dean Livesey. Good afternoon. On behalf of the Wichita State University Alumni Association, it's my pleasure to welcome you here today and to congratulate you on your accomplishments. Wichita State has provided you with a foundation of lifelong learning, and the Alumni Association is here to provide you with a lifelong connection to your alma mater. You're now part of an important and unique group of people who represent Wichita State University worldwide. You're now a member of the Shocker alumni family with more than 100,000 graduates. As a Wichita State graduate, you represent what is great about this university. Your accomplishments and future achievements and the values by which you live reflect upon the educational values of Wichita State. You are Wichita State, and we truly believe that each of you will excel because of the educational foundation you have achieved here. As you make significant strides towards professional and personal success, we encourage you to stay connected to your alma mater by becoming an active participant in your alumni association. At the conclusion of today's ceremony, Alumni Association staff members and volunteers will present you with a card like this that has an alumni lapel pin attached and information about your Alumni Association membership that you'll receive. We hope that you'll wear this pin proudly. Once again, congratulations and welcome to the Shocker alumni family. Congratulations. I would like to invite the Provost of Wichita State University, Dr. Rick Muma, to the podium.
Thank you, Courtney. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. You're graduating. As many of you know, Dr. Desai, Dean of the W. Frank Barton School of Business, will be retiring this summer after 4 years of service to Wichita State and 37 years in higher education, with the last 25 years in the state of Kansas. Under his leadership, the business school has grown its enrollment, launched several new academic programs, and most importantly, raised $30 million for the school's replacement facility known as Woolsey Hall. These are extraordinary accomplishments, and we are very grateful. I'd like to invite the Dean of the W. Frank Barton School of Business, Dr. Anand Desai, to the podium, and he will introduce our next speaker.
Thank you. I'm pleased to introduce Leanne Corrett. Leanne is the President and Chief Executive Officer of Boeing Defense, Space, and Security, the world's second-largest defense company that provides products and services to customers in the United States and around the world. But equally, if not more noteworthy, is that Leanne is a shocker. She got her start in Kansas, receiving a Master of Business Administration from Wichita State University, after getting a Bachelor of Science degree in Business Administration from Kansas State University. Leanne is a second-generation Boeing employee who started working for the company in 1988. When she was named to the CEO position a few years ago, she became the first woman to hold the role at Boeing. It's important to note that just this year, 4 of the U.S.'s 5 biggest defense contractors, Northrop Grumman, Lockheed Martin, General Dynamics, and Boeing Defense, Space, and Security are women. Fortune magazine named her to its most powerful women list in 2017 and 2018. And this past March, she was inducted into the Women in Aviation Pioneer Hall of Fame. Corrett is a member of the United Service Organization's USO Board of Governors and has been named an Associate Fellow to the American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics. We are honored to have her with us today in Shocker Nation. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Corrett back to Wichita State University.
Thank you, Dean, for that wonderful introduction, to Provost, to the Interim President Tompkins, Dean Livesey, and members of the faculty and the Wichita State Foundation. Thank you for the kind invitation to come home to Kansas. It's an honor to be here with you today to celebrate your great achievement, and to your families and friends, well done. You're likely wondering why I am up here. And you're probably worried I'm going to speak way too long, because let's be honest, we know what you all want. You want to walk across this stage, you want to get that scroll, you want to get that coin, you want to get back to that chair, and you want out of here. The physical reality is you all did it. And the only probably nagging concern you may have is, did I miss anything? I'll promise you, you all didn't miss anything. A little about me. I'm blessed to have grown up down the road in Derby, Kansas. I went to Derby High School, went off to K-State, and then got my master's here at Wichita State. My husband, my sister-in-law, and her husband are Shockers. We consider ourselves a Shocker family. Wichita is where my roots are, where I learned early on who I am and what I stand for, and I think it's one of the greatest blessings from having spent time in Kansas. It's the values. And I want to ease your mind. This speech is about three things: being short, maybe being a bit funny, and maybe, just maybe, offering a piece of advice that you'll remember. I have a favorite quote that I have kept with me for my entire Boeing career, more than 30 years. I first read it in Reader's Digest magazine, a magazine that my dad gave to me as a gift. I think it's safe to say that most of you have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about. Think about this. It's now one of those magazines you find in the dentist office when you have nothing else to look at and you pull it up. In this magazine was a page called Quotable Quotes. And on that page, which I hung on my cubicle wall when I started at the company, was this: success is never final. Failure is never fatal. It's the courage to continue that counts. The quote was attributed to Winston Churchill, but no matter who said it first, I've been stealing it shamelessly for the last 3 decades. A show of hands, please. Raise your hand if you have ever had a good day here at Wichita State, including today. There we go. Now, how many of y'all may have ever had a bad day? Be honest. And how many of y'all may have ever had a good day and a bad day in the same day? Totally, right? For some of you, though, those may seem like silly questions. I can promise you, though, going forward, you will have all 3 days. But no matter what type of a day we have, what defines us is what we do next. It's the courage to continue. Sometimes it's hard to face into the day. However, as you go out into the world, that is what you will need to do every day. Now, that leads me to one of my next favorite quotes. I heard it for the first time a few years back, and I think it ties in nicely with Winston. You see, Admiral William McRaven, former commander of Special Operations and a Navy SEAL, gave a commencement address at the University of Texas in 2014. It is one of my all-time favorite speeches. It's on YouTube. Please watch it. He gave a single piece of advice that I find priceless even today. He said, if you want to change the world, start off by making your bed. If you can't do the little things right, you'll never do the big things right. Now, let's not get into a debate about whether making your bed is a waste of time because you're going to go back to sleep that same night. His message is simply this: you need to face into the day. What better way than actually accomplishing something easy? And by the way, your folks would really be proud of you. And don't forget, as you forge out on your own, unless you plan on hiring someone, you gotta keep your place clean. So remember, so far I've shared, you need to get up in the morning, you need to face into your day, and the best way to start is by making your bed. So what's next? Perhaps this is where I get a little bit more serious. You see, each of you in your own way will change the world. It isn't preordained. It may never make the news, but as you look back on your life, you will realize how influential you were on those around you, to those you served, and to the generations that follow. When I think back to my graduation, I can assure you that I had no inkling what the future held for me. I certainly never expected to be in this position, running a business that would take U.S. astronauts back to space from American soil. This summer, we'll celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Apollo 11 mission. For me, this is symbolic because we're preparing to launch a spacecraft called Starliner to fly American astronauts to the International Space Station. This is exciting, however, it's not without challenges. As the astronauts launch into space, they will be challenged both physically and mentally. Their bodies will experience gravitational forces, or G-forces, that will push them back into their seats with such power we have specially designed equipment to help them handle it. Mentally, they will have to make real-time decisions with imperfect data. Think about this. You too will experience situations where you're both physically and mentally stressed, where forces are pushing against you, making the situation and the environment uncomfortable and challenging your confidence. The key is what you do about it, how you muster the courage to continue. Obviously, you will prepare as best as you can, but there are going to be days when preparation isn't enough. These are the days when I think you need a different kind of G-forces, good forces, and there are only 4 that you need to remember. Number 1 is grit. Leadership demands an inner toughness and an outer facade that makes it look easy. Your ability to manage yourself as you manage the situation will set the tone for those around you. Number 2, gumption. This is about being resourceful, taking initiative, and betting on yourself. Number 3 is grace. This is about giving yourself and others a break. We need grace because not everything is going to work out as you planned. You will fail. You will be embarrassed. How you handle it will define who you are. And number 4 is gratitude. This is the easiest and the hardest thing to do. Simply say thank you. Now, it's time for me to exercise some gratitude and thank you all for allowing me to speak today. I'm also extremely grateful for the education I earned here at Wichita State. It was hard work and it prepared me to go on a journey that I never could have imagined. As you all launch on your own adventures, remember to focus on the good forces. With a little grit, a lot of gumption, unending grace, and abundant gratitude, your journey will be extraordinary. Good luck to you, and thank you. And remember, if you're going back home, to make your bed. Go Shockers!
Thank you, Leanne, for those words of inspiration. Of the over 561 candidates receiving undergraduate degrees this spring, 216 qualified for honors based on their work completed by the end of fall 2018. Would members of the Dorothy and Bill Cohen Honors College and students graduating summa cum laude, magna cum laude, and cum laude please stand and be recognized? Thank you. You may be seated. There's another group I wish to recognize. Would all current service members or veterans, including our students wearing the red, white, and blue cord representing our nation's flag, please stand. Today, in addition to commencement, we celebrate Armed Forces Day. Ladies and gentlemen, through your service and the sacrifice of many of your brothers and sisters, this nation stands great. You protect and preserve our freedom, and in so doing, ensure the foundation of our educational process. On behalf of a grateful university, I thank you. We have now come to the conferring of the degrees and graduate recognitions. Dr. Kerry Wilkes, Interim Dean of the Graduate School, will present the candidates for graduate degrees. I will then present the W. Frank Barton School of Business candidates, and Dr. Dennis Levesey will present the College of Engineering candidates for undergraduate degrees to Interim President Andy Tompkins, who will confer the degrees. After the degrees are conferred, candidates will come to the stage to be individually recognized. As graduates cross the stage, they will be awarded with a scroll and a Wichita State University Challenge coin from their college. Graduates, you have earned the right to carry the coin of your university. Do so as a constant reminder of your belonging to Wichita State, along with other alumni, faculty, and staff. Interim President Tompkins and Interim Dean Wilkes, please come forward and present the doctoral candidates.
Will the candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy please stand? Mr. President, as Dean of the Graduate School, I present these candidates who have completed the requirements prescribed for the Doctor of Philosophy degree. They have been recommended by the faculty and are presented for the conferral of these degrees.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Kansas Board of Regents, I confer upon you the appropriate degree with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. Welcome to the Guild of Scholars.
You may be seated. Will the candidates for master's degrees please stand? They have completed the requirements prescribed for the Masters of Accountancy, Master of Arts, Masters of Business Administration, Master of Engineering Management, and Master of Science. Mr. President, the candidates have been recommended by the faculty and are presented for the conferral of these degrees.
Upon recommendation of the faculty and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Kansas Board of Regents, I confer upon you the appropriate degree with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining.
You may be seated. Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Business Administration please stand? Mr. President, they have been recommended by the faculty and are presented for the conferral of these degrees.
Upon recommendation of the faculty and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Kansas Board of Regents, I confer upon you the appropriate degree with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining.
You may be seated. Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Aerospace Engineering, Biomedical Engineering, Computer Engineering, Computer Science, Electrical Engineering, Engineering Technology, Industrial Engineering, Manufacturing Engineering, and Mechanical Engineering please stand? Mr. President, these candidates have been recommended by the faculty and are presented for the conferral of these degrees.
Upon recommendation of the faculty and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Kansas Board of Regents, I confer upon you the appropriate degree with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining.
Please be seated. We will now recognize candidates individually as they come to the stage. Will the College of Engineering doctoral candidates please come forward with your dissertation advisor to be hooded?
Shuang Zia. Zahir Hamad Absalam. Amin Mohsinzadeh. George Shermer. Kishore Kanda Chidela.
Congratulations, College of Engineering doctoral graduates. Before the candidates for the College of Engineering's Masters come to the stage, we want to take a moment in recognition of a graduate who is being honored today with a posthumous degree, Mr. James Gross. Would James' family and fellow classmates in the College of Engineering's Master's program please remain standing while his wife, Megan, and mother, Susan, comes to the stage to receive the degree in his honor. Dr. Dennis Levesey, Dean of the College of Engineering, will present the degree.
Will the College of Engineering Master's candidates please come to the stage to be individually recognized?
Ahilan Senthanam. Naveen Srinivasan. Preetha Palanisamy Sudha. Lukman Syed. Numan Syed. Wallace Angaluki Akenga. Tyler P. McCune. Brian S. Kubijos. Caitlin Renee Kali. Sanjay Kumar Narvaneni. Kushan Sai Sasang Gadiparthi. Deepika Joseph. Srinivas Sangishetty. Rishab Warma. Michael J. Beisner. Logan Bohm. Michelle Angela Thomas. Asim Prasher. Prasad Madhukar Bople. Pranav Gopal Bore, Akshay A. Patil, Akash Nandeo Patil, Tejeswi Palay, Naveen Makundan Ravindran, Charles Douglas Henry, Mahavadiya, Kiati Mahavadiya, Adnan Atia Abani, Jessica Lee Aldrich, Lee Griffith, Ryan Andrew Becker, Devin Schmidt, Benjamin Edward Laughlin, Stefa Victor, Kavitha Chandrasekhar, Ganana Chandrika Sukhavasi, Bala Srikar Adigarla, Abana Bhaskar, Lalita Krishnan Menon, Josel Kurian Maniyengat, Sankalp Gautam, Jennifer Lee Hadley, Thenmozi Venkatesan, Prasham Maniyar, Kaustu Vilas Patil, Sayan Vishnu, Samir Afzal Chima, Pravinat Dasunpriya Apanzo, Mark Bakash, Jacob Wangoma Muzi, Ashwarya Kushari, Aditi Shiromani, Fermi Solas Rayapan, Manasa Chigarapati, Lakshmi Gayatri Pedaprolu, Subramanya Surya Teja Kalaga, Rithvik Vedantam, Ajay Krishna Matu, Vishak Vijayan, Ganiyu Obolaji Alimi, Kevin Christopher Hagan, Lohita Kohli, Clarithra Manikavelu, Sudhakar Subramanyam, Akshay Menon, Thomas Thibodeau, Mike Milhan, Elliot Richard Walker Hannett, Nelson Mandela, Willora Arachige Roshanta Pinrera, Sandeepa Udawalawa, Cole Raymond Burney, Chandana Mahesh, Nikhil Kumar Reddy Singareddy, Charlton Menezes, Ravi Raushan, Sunil Kumar Rout, Nathan Ray Baker, Justin Michael Linhart, Chris Champy, Bharat Dadwal, Neha Chauhan, Puneet Singh, Vijay Krishna Prem Kumar, Shalak Shetty, Abhishek Ravi Kumar, Ajay Balamuragan, Deepak Nandade Vadade San.
Congratulations, College of Engineering Master's graduates. At this time, I'd like to invite the Barton School of Business Dean, Dr. Desai, to the podium.
Will the W. Frank Barton School of Business Master's candidates please come to the stage to be individually recognized?
David Lawrence Lang, Luke Scott, Jane Sawe Rangira, Daniel Arthur Moya, Chelsea Renee Kruger, Christina Ann Rogers, Tyler Andrew Geegan, Mariah Christina Smith, Andre Ton Wynn, Stacy Diane Gramza, Chelsea Carvalho Manuel, Kavya Meghana Sagi Datla, Sanjol Basil, Noria Rai, Taibat Adejumo K. Mava, Elisha Nicole Samuel, Samantha Marie Stinson, Trevor James Wessel, Robin Lynn Auger, Zachary Allen, Fatiha Ontufi, Shannon Elizabeth Ehart, Andrew R. Shook, Sharnay Williams Bell, Harrison Sean Seligman, Yuping Yao, Morgan Renee Hood, Dana L. Hunter, Abigail Jean Kammerer, Ancy Anthony McFeeters, Melanie Renee Barnhill, Todd Valadimir Reynolds, Sachaporn Mahajarankul, Ryan Roby Lee, Andy Nicole Birch, Kyle Bayek, Shivani Vijay Nagrecha, Yi Pei Tran, Lauren Renee Bowen.
You're into the bachelor's.
Okay, sorry. We're into another group.
Congratulations, Barton School of Business Master's graduates. Will the candidates for the bachelor's degree in business please come to the stage to be individually recognized?
Indra Simone Cynthia Pillay. Is this you, Robert? Robert Jordan Bergstad. Okay, hold on. Lorenzo M. Davis. Ashley Noel Railsback. Samantha Nicole Mathis. Julissa Amy Martinez. Cum laude Jade A. Hoover. Janie Koch. Kristen Hall Moore. Chelsea Lynn Horney. Jason Wienke. Alec Evan Edmiston. Jared Jansen. Miranda Bray Miller. Fabiola De Loera Alderete. Zebulon Kreider Harrington IV. Kiefer Easton George, cum laude. Magna cum laude Sharada Lee. Magna cum laude Sonia Bogado. Magna cum laude Dalton James Wilson. Devin Markel Gulliford. Javier Garola. Jonathan Andrew Nevarez. Cum laude Ryan David McCullough. Isaiah Jamal Franklin. Matthew Aaron Woodman. Summa cum laude Megan Brewer. Magna cum laude Jordan DeMeyer. Jacob A. Lyles. Con Wynn. Louis Malik Rivers. Brandon DeRamus. Danae Marie Nichols. Cum laude Catherine Rose Griffin. Cum laude Joseph Thomas Baringhouse. Cum laude Joshua Wayne Smith. Cum laude Mark Alexander Dotson. Magna cum laude Carson Joseph Buragi. Cole Anthony Davis. Magna cum laude Samuel Morris Belson. Magna cum laude Christian Cruz. Summa cum laude Megan Elizabeth McGillen. Alex James Arnold. Magna cum laude Elizabeth Tyler Moore. Kelsey King. Cum laude Brianne Marie Gerstenkorn. Monica Nee Wynn. Abigail Rose Hull. Hatem Saleh Alkarni, Devante Henriquez, Samantha Lynn Orr, Anish S. Shaw, cum laude, Maritza Gonzalez, Alexander Michael Isaacs, Julio Jared Santos, cum laude, Kyle Andrew Taylor, Logan Patrick Cassidy, magna cum laude, Breck Christian Towner, Matthew David Jones, Mackenzie L. Hopper, Shayra Kajia Dunn, Deidre Lauren Walker, magna cum laude, Hannah Marie O'Neill, Meshari Kasib Alinezi, Taglib Amar Al-Hukbani, Mohammed Saud Al-Rashidi, Faisal Abdullah Al-Yafi, Sanad Daifala Amukati Alotaibi, magna cum laude, Kelly Colleen Wappelhorst, cum laude, Morgan Worth, cum laude, Parker L. Rocky, Jacob Ryan Peacock, Brianna Burns, Stephen Yu Anisobi, Quang Fu Wang Win, Michael Christian Whiteside, cum laude, magna cum laude, Valeria Rosales Toca, James Jagger Ashby, Anthony Vincent Miller, Anthony Vega, Patrick G. Womack, cum laude, Alex Ryan Stadler, Hannah Marie Smith, Mohammed Amin Hamad, Mahmoud Ibrahim Hassan, Stacy Nicole Wade, Romeo Agasusi, cum laude, Emily Josephine Hennerberg, Tiffany Goins, Lataja King, Taylor Brianne Mount, Kyle Patrick Bowl, cum laude, Christian Santos Saldana Banuelos, magna cum laude, Lauren Elizabeth Bolton, Christina Lee Cow, Brian Huang Lee, Luis Ivan Cordero, Colton Tucker, Aline Chan Sivang Sai, Aaron James Evans, Jesus Gerardo Gallegos Garcia, summa cum laude, Madison Louise Ripperger, Michael Lay, magna cum laude, Alyssa Morgan Ward, cum laude, Jessica Lynn Waycamp, magna cum laude, Kayla Ann Hazy, cum laude, Mackenzie Ray Woods, Ashley Michelle Huck, Brittany Wilkerson, magna cum laude, Brooke Erin Woodard, Summa cum laude, Enrico Lorenzo Hernandez. Cum laude, Wesley George Lowe. Cum laude, Brandon Charles Martin. Giselle Zenier Thomas. Deabrian Lawless Bush. Graduating magna cum laude, Kellen Greg Marshall. Magna cum laude, Marshall Sunday Johnson. Marcus Robert Kinnan. Cum laude, Joshua L. Miller. Magna cum laude, James Erickson DeLillo. Summa cum laude, Thomas Patrick Schmidt. Magna cum laude, Harley Hauer. Cum laude, Kyle Glenn Martin. Magna cum laude, John Michael Schaefer. Juan Tomas Matthias. Austin James Downey. Zachary Daniel McElfresh. James Timothy John Fleming. Jesus Manuel Rodriguez. Cum laude, Latresa Victoria Blaisdell Phillips. Caleb Walter Robello. Magna cum laude, Ashruta Acharnya. Ethan Michael Maddox. Chad M. Goings. Jamie Seaver. Chad Allen King. Christopher McRae. Cum laude, Lestari Shaliha Porbaning Tias. Andrew Taylor Schaff, magna cum laude. Cum laude, Maritza Reyes. Erica Ann Boleski. Carmen Andrea de la Cruz. Magna cum laude, Juan Ting Chow. Jeffrey Johnson. Taylor Marie Needens. Gergana Gaskalova. Angela Renee Thompson. Cum laude, David Daniel Cope. Summa cum laude, Kyle Chandler Kopecki. Magna cum laude, Cody L. Fry. Cum laude, Suzanne Elaine Webb. Magna cum laude, Courtney Nicole Grosh. Magna cum laude, Jamie E. Gallagher. Magna cum laude, Catherine Page Gray. Cum laude, Emily Elaine Graham. Caitlin Carmen Coulterman. Jared A. Lewis. Austin Ward Doherty. Magna cum laude, Sadie D. Fleeting. Faria Ara Mojumader. Jacob Ray Loosler. Trent Michael Heimerman. Matt Richmond. Cherie Shea Nieves. Morgan Michelle LaJoy. Cum laude, Devin Thomas Hart. Magna cum laude, Charles Philip Underwood. Dalen Dwayne Johnson Stearns. Cum laude, Ashley Kathleen Culbertson. Lean T. Beach Wynn. Loan on the Win, cum laude. Cum laude, Spencer J. Carey. Presley Munoz. Magna cum laude Andrew Wilkie Pringle. Magna cum laude Megan Nicole Service. Taki Abdullah Al-Quraida. Matthew Ryan Beecham. Drew Charles Anderson. Magna cum laude Wesley Scott Haynes. Jean-Pierre Fortin. Magna cum laude. Nicholas Werrett. Brent David Patton. Magna cum laude Aaron Michael True. Hayden J. Bugner. Cum laude Jace Allen Kopic. Ashley Lynn Beck. Cum laude Cynthia Esmeralda Rodriguez. Magna cum laude Kayla Deanne Ovesny. Travis Clinton Wam. Dustin Andrew Maley. Jenny High. Cum laude Haley Quinn Hamlin. Reagan Newhouse. Magna cum laude Zachary A. Brown. Magna cum laude Jared Brandt Bishop. Ayman Maher Kader. Rogelio Martinez. Cindy Lun. Quang Tom Tan Duong. Magna cum laude Kent Ka Dang. Cum laude Uyen Dang. Stephen Wynn. Jacob Carl Morales. Jack R. McKinney. Cum laude Dawn Wynn. Marissa Ibarra. Cum laude Caitlin Elliott.
Congratulations, Barton School of Business Bachelor's graduates. You may now move your tassels to the left. At this time, I would like to invite the College of Engineering Dean, Dr. Levesey, to the podium.
Will the candidates for the bachelor's degrees in the College of Engineering please come to the stage to be individually recognized?
Sean Sadat. Raed Mohammed Al-Jahani. Abdul Rahman Nasser Al-Arafij. Magna cum laude Muad Musa Shaheen. Cum laude Jonathan Paul Marshall. Cum laude Daniel James Yap. Magna cum laude Nathan Richard Albu. Joshua Lee Workman. Magna cum laude, Matthew Dean Johnson. Cum laude, Swan Min Grimm. Joseph Raymond Moses. Cum laude, Joseph Anthony Osti. Magna cum laude, Clayton Andrew Bond. Cum laude, Emily Kate Ullman. Summa cum laude, Zaid Fala Alashkar. Magna cum laude, Bernardo Villanfania Ibarra. Magna cum laude, Ryan Bowie. Cum laude, Abbas Alali. Trevor Scott Neerman. Magna cum laude, Cody Ray Costboth. Magna cum laude, Jonathan Daniel Warnke. Reuben Timothy Bashia. Eric James Turnus. Drew Allen Ham. Tate Beatty Annis. Jason Lawrence Cox. Jorge Cepeda Espino. Miguel Antonio Espinoza. Israel Antonio Hernandez. Magna cum laude, Michael Thomas Foster. Magna cum laude, Skylar Lee Dean. Jonathan Owen Bowerman. Cum laude, Andrew James Spurl. Cum laude, Andrew Keith Elliott. Aaron D. White. Cum laude, Austin Michael Binder. Adam David Church. Jonathan Russell Elliott. Jeremy Michael Meyer. Jacob Thomas White. Austin Guy Parker Tedder. Sayed Ahmed Mustafa Al-Yassin. Jassim Ahmud Al-Khalaf. Cade T. Heapsh. Graduating cum laude, Macy Allison Hamlet. Cum laude, Gwen Nok Tran. Trenton Lee Bosley. Cum laude, Rex Wade Hoffenstein. Magna cum laude, Polo Ivan Osornio Cornejo. Atampola Arachige Don Thisat. Emmanuel Yosef Wondimu. Benjamin Stewart Johnson. Benjamin Conley Russell. Magna cum laude, Dustin Lee Bragg. Daniel Comezi. Magna cum laude, Nathaniel David Hofer. Magna cum laude, Enrique Juan Rodriguez. Cum laude, Hunter Wayne Roberts. Jamie Alexander Bowens. Miroslav Herzan. Cum laude, Patrick Allen Metzinger. Magna cum laude, Lisa Lynn Seaver. Eric Paul Smith. Summa cum laude, Brandon Cody Jones. Cum laude, An Ma. Summa cum laude, Ian Arthur McMains. Cum laude, Luke Anthony Lehman. Richard James Harbor. Adam James Ray. Sanprabha Nilovpali Wetewa. Magna cum laude Sylvia Angelica Alvarez. Cum laude Alia A. Hayder. Cum laude Derek Matthew Shapolsky. Saeed Mbalia. Joseph Michael Lynn. John Patrick Franken. Cum laude Ruth Abigail Darcy. Cum laude Alex Christopher Wilburn. Magna cum laude Dakota Reed. Alia Hatem Qasim. Magna cum laude Christopher Kahn. Cum laude Kanila Gunasekara. Cum laude Dinusha De Silva. Cum laude Dilmi Thatsarani Ranawira. Samadini Wirasikra Arachilaje. Cum laude Vivian Sebastian Coe. Cum laude Nathan Z. Price. Magna cum laude Jordan Christopher Nichols. Michael Andrew Plang. Terrence Tan Trong. Cum laude Christopher Hayes Searer. Veronica Chang. Brody Sullivan. Andrew Sun. Cum laude Austin Jeffrey Hunt. Magna cum laude Ryan Gabriel Kendall. Alexander J. Lankford. Ezekiel Edmund Kazicki. Ryan J. Carlin. Magna cum laude Albadr Fakrau. Cum laude Benjamin Michael Kress. Summa cum laude John David Myers. Lee Win Bro. Jose Luis Banales. Ismael Marcinari. Guillermo Caro Sanchez. Cum laude Ali Mustafa Al Nasser. Magna cum laude Colton Marshall Russell. Jacob Donald Lee Rollman. Carlos Alonso Devora. Cum laude Rebecca Gabrielle Ibarra. Summa cum laude Daniel Lee Martin. Magna cum laude Nicole Ann Furman. Summa cum laude Reese Dennis Burns. Cum laude Sarah Lynn Spillman. Cum laude Dane Brian Laughlin. Alexander Douglas Miller. Cum laude Helena Rell. Tamisha Janae Tisdale. Narges Al-Said. Brianna Resley. Tina Tui Young Win. Kyle David Piejarowski. Tao Win, cum laude. Irfan Thomas Shaw, cum laude. Magna cum laude Matthew Wayne Baker. Magna cum laude Matthew Chastain. Magna cum laude Ricardo J. Zappian. Cum laude Carlos M. Serna. Graduating magna cum laude Maston Inchicle. Magna cum laude Christopher Diaz de Leon. Cum laude Sai Rohit Pamidig Pantam. Pankaja Withanachi. Magna cum laude Faris Saud Al-Sharari. Ahmed Faihan Al-Shamari. Magna cum laude Fahad Madhi Al-Sharari. Cum laude Sorn Sakan Gleebanjong. Cody Braden Sears. Tan Hai Din. Magna cum laude Jesse Wynn. Garrett Michael Smith. Bailey Reed Zilkowski. Jason Andrew Bergkamp. Brandon Darrell Hallmark. Damian Marcel Cave. Magna cum laude Rebecca Lynn Crom. Magna cum laude Megan Elizabeth Grimes. Magna cum laude Jacob Matthew Hepler. Cum laude Nicholas Christian Young. Magna cum laude Samer Jabril. Magna cum laude Zachary Dugard. Connor Shannon. Emmanuel Daramola. Magna cum laude Billy Melly. Maximilian Wigwe. Mohammed Ghazi Abdulaziz. Shihab Mohammed Al-Mansouri. Saud Abdulaziz Al-Athmi. Abdul Rahman Nasser Al-Khaldi. Anas Hussam Abde Fattah Mohammed. Nishad Padwari. Matthew A. Cook. Graduating cum laude Jacob Alexander Nichols. Cum laude Arnold M. Wynn. Paul Alexander Watson. Akshar Patel. Magna cum laude Arvind Raj Murali. Magna cum laude Joshua Roshan Visagaran. Afiq Shireen Ahmad Shairi. Kent E. Ong. Yi Lip Chai. Cum laude Shao Kit Then. Diego F. Gomez. Caleb Jade Clausen. Caleb Thomas Scarberry. Mubashir Tamidul Karim. Magna cum laude Caitlin Louise Henderson. Dina Suhair Helm. Abdullah Mukren Al-Shabrami. Amro Sadiq Ahmed. Abdullah Al-Quraish. Manar Al-Zidlani. Abdul Malik Abdul Rahman Al-Ghanam. Mansoor Sahood Al-Harti. Abdullah Ahmed Al-Muashi. Bandar Lafi Al-Harbi. Abdullah Nashmi Alotaibi. Tao Ha. Dustin David Dye. Dakota Randolph Erickson.
Congratulations, College of Engineering Bachelor's graduates. Are you ready? You may now move your tassels to the left.
This concludes the conferring of the degrees and the recognition of the candidates. Will the banner bearers please come to the stage and take your positions? At this time, I'd like to invite the interim president of Wichita State University, Dr. Andy Tompkins, back to the podium for a few closing remarks.
Well, congratulations, graduates. We're proud of you. Before we conclude the ceremony, we have one more important group of individuals to recognize. Their belief in the success of the graduates seated here before us sustains one of the great American dreams, belief in the importance of education to enhance life for individuals and affect great positive change in the world. Here with us today are those who've dreamed that dream with our graduates, spent time with them, given them encouragement, and provided the support needed to accomplish the seminal, life-changing goal of a university degree. So now, would all parents and spouses and partners and children and friends and extended family of our graduates please stand and be recognized. Graduates, we know you would not be here without their support. Please stand. Parents, graduates, friends, thank you all. Thank you so much. And now it is my pleasure to introduce the WSU Concert Chorale, who will sing the alma mater, followed by the Shocker Sound Machine playing the fight song. Please stand.
121st Spring Commencement ceremony is now concluded. Please remain standing for the recessional.